The hard reality was exposed for all to see and hear today. If Anthony Albanese and Labor win re-election on May the 3rd, it'll be the start of a Labor-Greens government. The most powerful person other than the Prime Minister will be the Greens leader Adam Bandt. He spoke at the National Press Club today and he was licking his lips at the prospect of exerting Greens control over a Labor government.
The Greens are within reach of winning seats right across the country, and in a minority government we can make things happen. Vote Greens. We will keep Dutton out and get Labor to act on the cost of living, housing and climate crises. With more Greens, we can put more pressure on Labor.
At the end of the People's Forum last night, Albanese was keen to keep up the pretence that if there's a hung parliament, he won't do a deal with the Greens.
And the Greens, you'll take their votes, won't do deals? Is that a fair way to...
There'll be no deals with the Greens by me.
Now, this sort of denial just doesn't pass the pub test, does it? Labor works with the Greens in the Senate every day. In fact, most of Labor's MPs, the overwhelming majority of Labor's MP, only get elected thanks to Greens preferences. Labor is in cahoots with the Greens. And the last time they faced a minority government, Julia Gillard struck a formal agreement with the Greens. So the idea that after this election, Albanese and Labor would stiff-arm the Greens, well, it's just fanciful. In fact, we got a more likely picture of what will unfold when Albanese made this Freudian slip last week.
If you ask me, do you rule out governing in coalition with the Greens, the answer to that is no. No.
Well, he actually means that he has ruled it out. But we know he doesn't really mean that. Certainly Adam Bandt and the Greens don't believe him because their whole election pitch is about what they will do in partnership with a Labor minority government.
This election, the Greens have announced 3 priorities so far for minority government negotiations. Things that we could get done by the end of this year. Dental into Medicare. Protecting our environment by ending native forest logging. Free, universal, high-quality childcare. And today we add a 4th, our plan to fight for renters and first home buyers.
Yeah, we should listen to the Bandt policy agenda closely because this is what he plans to demand from Labor as his price to help them form government. And he's planning to attack negative gearing. Remember, that's something Labor took to voters 2 elections back when it was rejected. But the assault on negative gearing is coming back as a Greens precondition for a prospective minority Albanese Labor-Greens government.
I can announce today that the Greens will make reforming negative gearing and the capital gains tax discount a priority in the next parliament, including when there's a minority government. The Greens plan would see negative gearing and the capital gains tax discount scrapped for wealthy property investors, but preserved for what are often called mum and dad investors, with one investment property.
And the Greens plan to push Labor even further, making sure that governments can set rents. Even if you build or buy a property to rent out as your private investment choice, you'll have governments telling you what you can charge in rent. Private investments, open market, but the government setting prices.
Landlords cannot be allowed to raise the rent by whatever number they want. There has to be limits.
Yeah, the Greens are on the march. With Labor's polling stuck at record lows, they can sense that with a messy parliament and with Labor in minority, there will be historic opportunity for the Greens to control the agenda, force their policies onto a Labor government, the first Albanese-Bandt government.
With more people saying they want more voices at the table as part of a strong crossbench, he's going to have to learn to play well with others.
Perish the thought. This brings the real contest of this election into sharp focus. As I've warned for months, this is not a choice between the coalition and the weak and damaging Albanese Labor government. No, this is a contest between the coalition and a Labor-Greens alliance, an Albanese-Bandt government that will be even worse than the Albanese government that's given us a per capita recession, energy chaos and a cost of living crisis. Strap yourselves in.